What's up guys, my name is Elden. Welcome back to another K.O.H video. In today's K.O.H video, we are going over some tips that I'm going to give you to progress your account to make it so it's smoothly transitioning over time and then you don't get stuck at a certain place. So let's just jump right into it. Tip number one is probably going to be the most simple one. Do your quests. Make sure you're doing all your quests that you can. It will help you progress in the game in the beginning, and it will give you enough rewards to help you later on in the game also. So make sure you are doing those quests, your achievements and stuff like that. Make sure you're doing them to the best of your capabilities and keep up with them so you can obtain said skills and stuff like that, money and whatever that you can to help you progress in the beginning of the game. Tip number two will actually be make sure you purchase all the slots in the silver coin shop. This will enable you to be able to purchase more things such as scroll pieces, scrolls themselves, and Nat 2 stars, which we will get into in the later part of this video. But make sure you open all of that up so you can reap the benefits of having that all open once you have the silver coins to be able to purchase items that you see in the shop. Tip number three will be to actually make a EXP farming unit. This is a single unit that will allow you to carry 3 units through the dungeon while you are farming for EXP to level them up to max level. You want to be able to make a unit that can solo the dungeon by themselves. You don't want to make an entire team around soloing or completing a dungeon when it comes to EXP farming. Having a solo character that will enable you to actually solo the dungeon will help you progress further and further because it allows you to actually free up 3 spaces in your team to be able to level them up to max level, which will then enable you to make 6 stars and 5 stars a lot easier in the future. So make sure you are building a single unit that can solo the highest dungeons that you possibly can in a acceptable amount of time, and that will allow you to progress in the game further. After you have built a EXP farmer, you want to actually build a Rune dungeon farming team. This is different than the EXP farmer. With the EXP farmer, you only need a single unit to be able to farm said dungeon. With the team, you want to build them as a team. You want their skills to work in synergy with each other so you could defeat the boss quicker and then obtain said runes so you can keep on going higher and higher and progress through the game. At the beginning of the game, I would recommend you keep everything blue and up until you get to a certain stage and where you don't need to keep all the blue runes. You could later on discard those blue runes and then keep the epic and legendary. And speaking of runes, that brings me on to the next tip. Make sure you are plus 12ing your runes in the beginning of the game. Plus 12ing your runes will allow you to obtain a legendary status, and that will give you an extra stat on said rune. Those will actually help you a lot more than you think, and it will enable you to progress in the game a lot further. And once you get to the stage where plus 12ing a rune does not cut it, plus 15 all of your runes. Yes, I said all of your runes, even the flat stat runes. Those flat stat runes will enable you to have that little bit of extra damage, which can allow you to kill the boss, survive a hit, or do whatever you need to make your character a little bit stronger. Make sure you are plus 15ing your runes after a certain point in the game once you have runes that allow you or that you know that you're going to keep for a while. There is no shame in plus 15ing a 5-star rune or a 6-star rune that's a flat stat rune. Once you are able to obtain said units to do decent times in farming in EXP dungeon, you want to actually focus on making a goal that you want to achieve through the game, whether it be for a month goal or the end time goal. Like, what is your goal? By having a goal, meaning whether it's going to be doing faster rune times, doing PvP, high level end PvP, mid-tier PvP, doing Altar Realms, getting a better score in Altar Realms. Whatever your goal is, try pinpointing it and focusing on that goal. And one good way to achieve that goal is to build teams around that goal. Don't build all of the Nat 5s that you have because that will only slow you down for the goal because you are going to be spreading your runes very thin across those units. So make sure you put in storage the Nat 5s, the Nat 4s, the Nat 3s that you think are cool and want to build in the future. Put them in storage so they're out of sight, out of mind, and then you have more of a clear-cut idea of what your goal is going to be and what it is that you want to achieve. Okay, now, let's say that you have your goal, you have your idea of what you want to do, but you don't have the units to their highest tier that you can get them to. So one good way to do this, and this is mainly a free-to-play way, is to actually buy out all of the 2-star monsters inside of the silver coin shop and level them up to max level, and then promote them, and then level them up again, and then promote them until you have enough of the units to actually make them a 5-star. Then you use those 5 stars to promote the unit that you are trying to 6-star. 6-starring a unit will significantly improve their overall stats and will help you progress in the game further and further. You want to 6-star your units. Make sure to 6-star your units that you are using to help you get to your goal quicker. Another good way to obtain those 2 stars are actually to summon your normal scrolls. Again, this is another free-to-play method, but people that actually will in the game can use this method too if they so choose though, but they most likely don't need to. Summon your normal scrolls. From your normal scrolls, you'll get a unit that is either 1 to 3-star, 3-star having the lowest chance, about like 0.8% chance. I will throw up the actual rates of getting the 3-star, but they are very low, and I know that from first-hand experience. I have summoned 2k scrolls in a row and only got 8 3-stars from those scrolls. So you want to mainly focus on getting those 2 stars. If you happen to get a 3-star, that's great. Sell your 1-stars. You could use them as food, but that actually winds up costing you more than what it's worth. You could sell them and get a little bit of extra silver on the side, and then focusing on leveling up those 2 stars, like I said before, so you could get those promotions to be able to promote your 5-star to a 6-star or your 4-star to a 6-star. You want to be able to use your units correctly. You don't really want to rely on summoning a bunch of 3-stars from like gems and stuff like that. Utilize those Nat 2s for the best of your ability to help you obtain that goal. Another tip is don't waste your crystals. So I have a thing where I do not like to go under 400 crystals because those crystals I use for constant farming, for EXP purchases and stuff like that. Doing a bunch of summons just to get a unit is a kind of dumb idea. You will be able to obtain a bunch of scrolls and stuff like that just through playing the game, and you can use those scrolls and stuff that you get through from playing the game to do your summons. Don't waste your crystals. Only use your crystals if you're saving for a specific banner and stuff like that for a unit that you really want, and even then it's not a guaranteed chance to get said unit. But I digress. Make sure you have an adequate amount of crystals so you could do refreshes, you could get all your stuff that you need to do to continue farming in the game, because farming in the game will help you progress more than getting a specific unit or character that you want for the game. Now, another tip is to save one of every Nat 4. So this tip is really useful because in the future, you don't know what is going to get a buff. Recently, we got a buff to certain units that were Nat 4s. I think one of them was a Nat 3 also. But make sure you save at least one of every single Nat 4. It doesn't matter if it's a fusion material or whatnot. Make sure you have a duplicate copy at least of one of every Nat 4, because you never know what their use case is going to be for future content or just in general if they're going to get a buff or not. It's always a good idea to have at least one of every Nat 4 and just put them in storage. Once you have them, lock them, put them in storage, out of sight, out of mind. You don't have to worry about them in the future. Now, this tip that I'm going to talk about is probably one of the bigger tips. Make sure that you are saving your skill fairies. Do not use your skill fairies all willy-nilly. What I mean by that is look at your characters or units that you want to skill up and see if they actually should be skilled up. Certain characters will not need skill ups because they don't have like a cooldown reduction type gauge that will enable them to use that skill quicker. If they do have that cooldown reduction type gauge, you should focus on that unit first. That unit, especially if it's a team-oriented unit that helps your team do a certain task, focus on that unit first so they could use those skills at a quicker rate and allowing them to be able to be utilized more and helping you clear certain tasks quicker. those are the units that you should focus on first. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check out all my social media too. They'll be linked down below. Join the Discord. We are family over there. I'm trying to build a community. We talk about games and stuff other than K.O.H. Also K.O.H. and art stuff too. I'll also try helping you with like streaming related stuff if you have questions about that too. So join the community, link down below. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitch, because I'm currently live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/EldenDraws. I'm currently live on there. I say that every end of the video because that is true. So check me out on Twitch. I will see you guys over there. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace. Bye-bye.